This is not a barndominium, and it is not a tiny home. It is both, at the same time, on the same foundation. A fully finished, insulated tiny home, 400 to 600 square feet, complete with kitchen and bathroom, built inside the shell of a barndominium, surrounded on three sides by an unfinished barn space for vehicles, workshop, and storage. 2 buildings, 1 permit, 1 foundation, 1 roof, and a build strategy that is genuinely smarter than either structure alone. Welcome to Affordable Tiny Living. Today, the tiny home inside the barndominium. Why this strategy works financially and practically, what the interior and exterior look like, what it costs, and the honest limitations. The tiny home inside a barndominium is not a new concept in rural building culture. It has existed for decades under different names: the farm office with a bedroom, the heated shop with living quarters, the equipment barn with an apartment in the corner. What is new is the deliberate design thinking being applied to it, and the growing community of builders who are choosing it not as a compromise, but as the optimal strategy for their situation. The logic is straightforward. A barndominium shell, a 40 by 60 foot metal building, for example, costs $35,000 to $70,000 for the complete structural shell, including the slab. That shell encloses 2,400 square feet under one roof. Fully insulating, lining, and finishing all 2,400 square feet to residential standard costs another $80,000 to $150,000. A total of $115,000 to $220,000 for a complete 2,400 square foot barndominium home. The tiny home inside strategy does something different. It takes the same $35,000 to $70,000 barndominium shell and finishes only 400 to 600 square feet of it to residential standard, spending $45,000 to $75,000 on the living quarters inside. The remaining 1,800 to 2,000 square feet of the shell is left as unfinished barn space: concrete floor, exposed metal walls. Reason 1. The cost efficiency is extraordinary. Finishing 500 square feet of living space inside an existing shell that also provides 1,800 square feet of working space at a total cost of $80,000 to $145,000 produces a cost per livable square foot that no standalone residential construction method can match. The working space is essentially free, because the barndominium shell cost that enables it is shared across all 2,400 square feet of enclosed area, rather than allocated only to the finished living quarters. Reason 2. 1 permit, 1 foundation, 1 roof. Building a house and a separate workshop on the same property, in most rural jurisdictions, requires 2 separate permits, 2 separate foundation pours, and 2 separate roofing systems, each with its own professional fees, its own inspection sequence, and its own cost. The tiny home inside a barndominium achieves both programs under a single permit application, a single foundation pour, and a single roof, reducing the administrative and construction overhead of the dual program build significantly. Reason 3. The living quarters are conditioned and insulated independently. The tiny home inside the barndominium is a building within a building. The living quarters have their own insulated walls, their own insulated ceiling, their own HVAC system, sized for 500 square feet rather than 2,400, and their own vapor barrier. The surrounding barndominium shell provides wind and rain protection, but is not thermally conditioned. The tiny home inside is, and at a heating and cooling cost appropriate to its 500 square foot size, rather than the full 2,400 square foot shell. Reason 4. The barn space moderates extreme temperatures. Even an uninsulated barndominium shell, sitting around an insulated tiny home, provides meaningful thermal buffering. The barn space is not at outdoor temperature. It is at the temperature of the ambient air, trapped inside the large metal building, which on a cold winter day may be 20 to 30 degrees warmer than the outdoor air, and on a hot summer day may be 15 to 20 degrees cooler than the outdoor peak. The insulated tiny home inside this moderately tempered buffer space performs better thermally than the same insulated tiny home exposed directly to outdoor conditions. The exterior of a tiny home inside barndominium reads entirely as a barndominium from the outside, because it is one. The metal skin, the gable roof, the roll-up door on one end, the entry personnel door on the other. The tiny home inside is invisible from the exterior. This exterior invisibility is a practical advantage in several situations. In rural jurisdictions, where a residential dwelling requires a more involved permit process than an agricultural or commercial building, the barndominium exterior reads as the latter. In neighborhoods or rural settings where the owner wants to maintain privacy about the residential use of the structure, the barndominium exterior provides it. The one exterior element that signals residential occupancy: windows. A barndominium used purely for agriculture or storage typically has minimal or no windows. The tiny home inside strategy adds windows on the wall sections above and around the residential interior, typically on the gable end opposite the roll-up door, and on one or both long walls of the residential section. Sized and positioned to provide light and ventilation for the living quarters inside, they read from the exterior as the building's residential character made visible. A covered entry porch. The interior of the tiny home section is a complete small home, built inside the barndominium's structural envelope, but independent from it in every thermal and acoustic sense. The tiny home's residential walls are built as a conventional stud frame partition system inside the barndominium shell, not attached to the metal skin, but standing independently from it, with an air gap between the residential wall and the barndominium's metal wall. This gap prevents thermal bridging between the conditioned residential space and the metal shell, allows any condensation on the metal interior face to drain without affecting the residential wall, and allows the residential space to be expanded or reconfigured in the future without affecting the barndominium structure. The 500 square foot residential interior follows the same efficient open-plan logic as any tiny home. Kitchen, dining, and living in one open space, sleeping zone, separated by a partition or a loft above, bathroom in its own enclosed room. The ceiling of the residential section is the residential interior's insulated ceiling, typically at 9 feet, with the barndominium's much higher interior volume above it, serving as the barn's upper space. The interior threshold between the residential section and the open barn space is one of the most interesting spatial moments in this build type. Step through the residential door, and the space changes completely. From a 500 square foot insulated, lit, furnished home, full cost breakdown for a 40 by 60 foot barndominium, with a 500 square foot finished tiny home inside. Barndominium shell metal building kit, 40 by 60 feet, $22,000 to $42,000. Concrete slab, full footprint, $14,000 to $26,000. Kit erection, $6,000 to $12,000. Roll-up door and personnel doors, $3,500 to $7,500. Basic electrical for barn space, lighting and power outlets, $4,000 to $8,000. Shell total, $49,500 to $95,500. Tiny home interior, 500 square feet residential stud frame walls inside the shell, $5,000. Spray foam insulation on residential walls and ceiling, $4,500 to $8,500. Interior lining, $4,500 to $8,000. Flooring, polished concrete or vinyl plank, $2,000 to $4,500. Kitchen, $5,500 to $11,000. Bathroom, $5,500. Residential entry porch, $1,800 to $4,500. HVAC for residential section, mini split, 500 square feet, $2,500. Residential electrical, $5,000 to $9,000. Plumbing, $5,000 to $9,500. Permits and fees, $3,500 to $7,500. Tiny home interior total, $48,800 to $94,000. Full project total, $98,300 to $189,500. What this delivers: 500 square feet of finished, insulated, conditioned residential space. 1,900 square feet of covered, secure. 4 limitations. Know them before you commit to this strategy. 1. Moisture management in the barn space is critical. An uninsulated metal building in a climate with significant humidity and temperature cycling produces condensation on the interior metal surfaces. This condensation, if it occurs directly above the residential section's ceiling, can create moisture problems in the residential space below, ensuring that the residential ceiling has its own vapor barrier and that the barn space above has adequate ventilation to prevent humidity accumulation, protects the residential section from this risk. 2. Zoning classification varies. In some rural jurisdictions, a metal building with residential living quarters inside requires a residential building permit and must meet residential building code for the entire structure, not just the living quarters section. In others, the agricultural or commercial classification of the metal building shell applies, with the residential interior treated as a secondary use. Confirm your specific local classification before committing to the strategy. The permit pathway determines the cost and the approval timeline. 3. The barn space is not thermally comfortable in extreme conditions. The uninsulated barn space is not a conditioned environment. In winter, in a cold climate, it will be cold, warmer than outside, but not comfortable for extended human occupation without additional heating. In summer, in a hot climate, it will be hot. The barn space is for storage, vehicles, and working, not for living. The residential section handles living. Keep these functions where the building is designed to put them. 4. The tiny home inside a barndominium is not a compromise between two building types. It is the recognition that two building types can share a foundation, a permit, and a roof, and deliver more value together than either delivers alone. The residential section gets the protection, the thermal buffering, and the working space adjacency that no standalone tiny home provides. The barn space gets the infrastructure, utilities, foundation, roof, that a standalone agricultural structure would require a separate investment to provide. 1 smart decision, 2 complete buildings, 1 cost. So here is what we want to know. Is the tiny home inside a barndominium strategy something you have considered? And what is your primary use case for the barn space? Workshop, vehicle storage, or something else entirely? Drop your answer in the comments. We read every single one. Subscribe to Affordable Tiny Living if you are not already here. We go this deep every single week. Thank you for spending this time with us here at Affordable Tiny Living. Metal building kit suppliers, barndominium builders experienced in residential interior build-outs, mini-split HVAC contractors, and the zoning research tools for your specific jurisdiction are all linked in the description below.